Special change, mobile and settled communities. Over the centuries, important political, social and economic developments had taken place. But social change was not same everywhere because different kinds of societies evolved differently. In large parts of the subcontinent, society was divided according to the rules of varnas or castes. These rules, as prescribed by the Brahmins, were accepted by the rulers of large kingdoms. As a result, the difference between the high and low and between the rich and poor increased. Beyond big cities, tribal societies. There were, however, other kinds of societies as well. Many societies in the subcontinent did neither follow the social rules and rituals prescribed by the Brahmins, nor were they divided into numerous unequal classes. Such societies are often called tribes, and the people are called Adivasis. They are generally pushed into hilly or forested areas, or the areas that have not been settled yet. Members of each tribe were united by kinship bonds. Many tribes obtained their livelihood from agriculture. Others were hunter, gatherers, or herders. Most often, they combined these activities to make full use of the natural resources of the area in which they lived. Some tribes were nomadic and moved from one place to another. A tribal group controlled land and pastures jointly and divided these amongst households according to its rules. Unlike non-tribal societies, which have a complex and interrelated economic exchange system, tribes tend to form self-sufficient economic rules. Also, the position of the rulers among the tribal people is not hereditary. Tribal people were found in almost every region of the subcontinent. The area and influence of a tribe varied at different points of time. Some powerful tribes controlled large territories. In Punjab, the Khokhar tribe was very influential during the 13th and 14th centuries. Later, the Gakhars became more important. Their chief, Kamal Khan, made a noble Mansabdar by Emperor Akbar. The Balochis were another large and powerful tribe in the northwest. They were divided into many smaller clans under different chiefs. A clan is a group of families or households claiming descent from a common ancestor. Tribal organization is often based on kinship or clan loyalties. In the western Himalaya, there lived the shepherd tribe of Gaddis. The distant northeastern part of the subcontinent too was entirely dominated by the tribes Nagas, AHOMS, and many others. In many areas of present-day Bihar and Jharkhand, Chero chiefdoms had emerged by the 12th century. Raja Man Singh, Akbar's famous general, attacked and defeated the Cheros in 1591. Under Aurangzeb, the Mughal forces captured many Chero fortresses and subjugated the tribe. The Mundas and Santhals were among the other important tribes that lived in this region and also in Odisha and Bengal. The Maharashtra highlands and Karnataka were home to Kolis, Berads, and many others. The Kolis also lived in many areas of Gujarat. The Bhils were one of the largest tribes of western India, living in parts of Gujarat, Rajasthan, and Maharashtra. By the late 16th century, many of them had become settled agriculturalists, and some even zamindars. The Gonds were one of the largest tribal groups in India and were located in many regions of central India. How nomads and mobile people lived. Nomads and itinerant groups. Nomads are wandering people. Many of them are pastoralists who roam from one pasture to another with their flocks and herds. Similarly, itinerant groups such as craftspersons, peddlers, and entertainers travel from one place to another, practicing their different occupations. Both nomads and itinerant groups often visit the same places every year. The Banjaras were the most important trader nomads. Their caravan was Tanda. Sultan Alauddin Khilji used the Banjaras to transport grain to the city markets. Emperor Jahangir wrote in his memoirs that the Banjaras carried grain on their bullocks from different areas and sold it in towns. Many pastoral tribes reared and sold animals, such as cattle and horses, to the prosperous people. Changing society, new castes, and hierarchies. As the economy and the needs of society grew, people with new skills were required. Lower castes or jatis emerged with varnas. For example, new castes appeared amongst the Brahmanas. On the other hand, many tribes and social groups were taken into caste-based society and given the status of jatis. Specialized artisans, smiths, carpenters, and masons were also recognized as separate jatis by the Brahmanas. Jatis, rather than varn, became the basis for organizing society. Among the Kshatriyas, new Rajput clans became powerful by the 11th and 12th centuries. They belonged to different lineages, such as Hunas, Chandelas, Chalukyas, and others. They gradually replaced the older rulers, especially in agricultural areas, and thus rulers used their wealth to create powerful states. The rise of Rajput clans to the position of rulers set an example for the tribal people to follow. Gradually, with the support of the Brahmanas, many tribes became part of the caste system, but only the leading tribal families could join the ruling class. A large majority joined lower jatis of caste society. On the other hand, many dominant tribes of Punjab, Sindh, and the northwest frontier had adopted Islam quite early. They continued to reject the caste system. The unequal social order prescribed by orthodox Hindus was not widely accepted in these areas. The Gonds and the AHOMS. The Gonds. The Gonds are not one of the largest and most well-known tribal communities in India. The name Gond is probably derived from the Telugu word Konda, meaning hill. The name thus indicates the hilly region in which most of the Gonds live. Today, Gond settlements are scattered in central India that include parts of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, eastern Maharashtra, northern Andhra Pradesh, and western Odisha. Their land came to be known as Gondwana, the land of the Gonds. There are many subgroups, such as Gadabas and Parjas, among the Gonds. The Gonds are strong, courageous, daring, and hard-working people. The main language of the Gonds is Gondi, but many of the tribal people speak other languages, including Hindi. The Gond state. The Rajput dynasties ruled over various parts of the Gond region from around 6th to the 12th centuries. Shortly after, unlike many other tribes, several groups among the Gonds formed themselves into kingdoms or chiefdoms. By the 15th century, several Gond dynasties were firmly established within the present-day Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh region. The important Gond kingdoms included those with their capitals or headquarters at Garha Mandla, Deogarh Nagpur, Chanda Sirpura, and Kherla. Each of the Gond capitals was located close to a hill or a river. Adjacent to the river, there was a large farm whose produce was meant to meet the needs of the royal household and others in the capital. The capital was bordered with dense forests that could provide a safe hideout to the Gonds in case the capital was attacked by enemies. With regard to power and material wealth, the Gond Rajas of those days were often superior to their neighboring Hindu kings. The forts had large tanks and wells within them. When the Mughal Emperor Akbar came to the throne in the year 1556, the Gond kingdom was very large, rich, and powerful. This kingdom was ruled by a queen named Durgavati on behalf of her minor son Birsa or Bir Narayan. The vastness and treasures of the kingdom tempted Akbar to invade it in the year 1564 AD. Asaf Khan, the Mughal governor of Allahabad, led the Mughal forces against Durgavati. She died in the battle, defending her kingdom against the Mughals. Around the 18th century, the Marathas crushed the power of the Gond kingdoms. The Gond kingdom were rich in many ways. The remains of forts and palaces speak about the prosperity and power of the Gond kingdoms. Villages. The people of this tribe today live in small villages of 20 to 50 families spread throughout the region. Most of the villages are close to a river or stream because the Gonds need plenty of water for their cattle and agriculture. The Gonds mostly follow the panchayat system of administration. Local rules and conventions are strictly followed. They built their houses with mud, timber and bamboo and thatched with grass. Some of the Gond subgroups, such as the Hill Maria, still practice the slash and burn cultivation. Many Gonds are also engaged in cattle rearing and other practices like carpentry and blacksmithery. The Gonds also make beautiful bamboo baskets. Hunting and fishing are other common occupations. Traditionally, the men wear a white cotton loincloth girded above the knees with a white or colored turban. The women wear a thin cotton fabric. Both men and women wear silver jewelry, such as anklets and armlets. Girls and boys are married at an early age. Remarriage of widowed and divorced women is common. They worship the clan deities. A family deity, Persepen, is a distinctive feature of Gond religion. They believe in a supreme deity, Baradeo, and each Gond clan had their own Persepen. There are elaborate rituals connected with these deities. They revere the forest that provides them food, clothing, and shelter. They also follow some Hindu customs and beliefs. The AHOMS. The AHOMS were a tribe who established a powerful kingdom in the region of present-day Assam. They ruled from the 13th to the 19th century. The name Assam itself has been derived from the word AHOM. Assam was known as Kamarupa in early times. Many local dynasties, such as the Kacharis, Morans and the Nagas, controlled different regions of Assam at different times. These local powers were always fighting amongst themselves. No stable government was established in the region till the coming of the AHOMS in the early 13th century. The AHOMS originally belonged to the Maoshan tribe of China. From the 1st century onwards, they migrated to northern Burma, Myanmar, and thereafter to Assam. They established themselves in northeastern Assam. They defeated the local rulers of the region and established a powerful kingdom in the 13th century. By the 15th century, the AHOMS were the dominant power in Assam. The first known AHOM king was probably Sukapha. He ruled from 1228 to 1268 AD. The most powerful king of the AHOMS was Rudra Singh, who ruled from 1696 to 1714 AD. The AHOMS fought against the local powers of the region and also against powers outside Assam, such as the rulers of Bengal and the Mughals. Warfare within Assam was for expanding their territories, whereas fights with the outside powers were for defending their territories. Neither the Bengal rulers nor the Mir Jumla under Mughals were able to achieve a decisive victory over the AHOMS. Aurangzeb did conquer Gargaon, the AHOM capital, but was unable to keep it under the Mughal rule. The AHOMS, however, ruled as vassals of the Mughals. By the early 19th century, the power of the AHOMS had weakened considerably, and the administration had started disintegrating. Amidst such confusion, the Burmese entered Assam in 1817 AD. The British felt threatened by this invasion. They defeated the Burmese and signed the Treaty of Yandabu with Burma in 1826 AD. Assam then became a part of British India.